Do we have some things to talk about tonight? Okay, before I even get into anything, let me run my disclaimer and then we can do what we're going to do here today. I'm excited about it too. I hope you are too. Oh, I'm so excited. I have so much to tell you guys. I have so many notes and have done a lot of research. I hope you guys are ready. And if you're brand new to my channel, welcome. My name is Erin Bees. I'm a wife, a mom, a military veteran, a certified personal trainer, and I spent 13 and a half years in multi-level marketing. I healed my way out, and now I'm using all of my social media platforms to educate and raise awareness around the dangers of multi-level marketing companies and the tactics used by their reps. If you have not already subscribed, it would be an amazing gift if you guys would. We are closely coming up on, what are we coming up on? Hold on. I looked earlier. 16,700. So we're close. We're steadily growing to 17K, which is still absolutely unbelievable to me, and I'm so grateful that you guys choose to be here. So thank you. So here's what happened with the eyeshadow. I started off with a simple look. I was like, oh, I'll just put a little, shimmer on. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to wear some green. That would be fun to do like a monochromatic look. Then I got the eyeliner out. And you know what happens when eyeliner comes out. I don't know what happened, but here we are. But thank you. It is Adriana Nicole Cosmetics eyeshadow in her I Am Everything All Shimmers palette. I do have an affiliate code. So if you go to her website, adriananicolecosmetics.com, you use Erin Bees, you'll save some money on orders of $25 or more. So it is an affiliate code, just FYI. So I appreciate you guys so much. Ooh, Pruvit. Pruvit is not proving it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, I love this for them. So they're being sued again, in case you guys haven't heard. But this time it's not just about culty marketing or questionable health advice, although I do hope that that is coming. I really do. This is a class action lawsuit filed in California that says Pruvit may have violated actual labor laws, and that could have major consequences. So if you are in California, if you lived in the state of California, currently live in California, and you were a part of Pruvit or any other MLM, there's some information in my video description to contact the Clarkson law firm. I'll elaborate on what all of that means, but first I want to start with, what does this lawsuit mean? What is the plain language? Because obviously I'm not a lawyer, and many of you are not lawyers, although I know there are some in here, and I appreciate y'all so much. I wanted to explain it, what it means, this lawsuit. So yeah, Herbalife must be so pissed. Hey, Sav. Savannah made me cry yesterday with her video. If you haven't already watched it, you should. I appreciate you, Savannah, and thanks for being my friend. Okay, I'm not going to cry on this one. Pruvit allegedly treated its promoters. This is kind of my notes that I'm looking at on the lawsuit. Okay, Pruvit allegedly treated its promoters like employees, assigning them daily unpaid to do activities. What do they call it? DMOs. I'm going to call it what they called it, DMOs, like social media posts. They were encouraged to give samples away, give ketones away. We've heard that on countless trainings that we have seen, whether it's on my channel or your favorite content creators channel. Mandatory trainings, mandatory, right? But never paid them like employees. They also allegedly misclassified reps as independent contractors while tightly controlling their behavior, their language, and even their schedules. So, and this is from the lawsuit. So imagine this. There's no crying in baseball. So imagine this. You're told you own your own business, as we often see people in MLMs say on social media, but you're expected to buy products every month. You're expected to follow scripts. You're expected to work long hours, do unpaid marketing, and if you stop, you're punished with lost rank or shame or just not being available when you need help with something, your upline or the company, in my opinion. That's basically the core of this lawsuit. Unpaid labor, misclassification, and coercive control. So all while who profits? The company does. Pruvit profits from all of this unpaid labor. Excuse me. Yeah, it's like a franchise. And here's the kicker. Now, this is not enough necessarily, I didn't feel like, to cover on my channel. And so as I started to do research for this video yesterday, I noticed that Pruvit publicly put out a training video. And as I started to watch it, and I was thinking about the lawsuit, I thought to myself, wow, this is like a living, breathing example of everything that I understand is in the lawsuit. And I thought, well, let's watch this, and I'll point out things that I feel as a non-lawyer, non-legal representative, somebody on the internet that was in Pruvit, give my opinions, give my commentary, and watch this training with you guys that, in my opinion, basically lays out everything that I understand is listed in the lawsuit. So today I'm going to be reacting in real time to their real training that they posted publicly. Weird. They never used to do that. I'll explain about some of that here later. Hey, Courtney, are you watching this? Girl. And hopefully I'll be able to walk you guys through what I want to call Exhibit A, self-incrimination. And I will say, for every member that joins tonight, please don't feel pressured. This is just something fun that I'm doing. You get the Law and Order soundbite. And I will also tell you that I have Friday's video. That Friday, it'll be public, but if you are a member, I'm actually going to post it right after this so you have it early. And it's a Nueva video. So if you'd like to become a member, that would be amazing. And I'll make sure that we celebrate with the Law and Order soundbite, and also you get a video a day early, essentially. So it's going down. It's going down. I can't listen to Pitbull anymore. Eric Worre ruined that. Well, and the fact that he endorses Herbalife. Hate that. Lindsay, thank you so much. This is for all the new members. I know it's not a shoulder smolder, but you know, we do what we got to do. And I thought it would be kind of fun. 2 years. Megan, thank you so much. Almost 2 years. Let's go. Did I miss anybody else? Cal. Next week I'll be watching with the new Void Kitty. I'm so excited for you, Cal. And thank you again, Lindsay. I appreciate you. Okay. I know Eric Worre ruins everything. Ew. I'm happy to help you, Lindsay. Congrats to everybody that got the member. There is a Discord link in the under the post section of my YouTube channel, so you can check that out. Oh, I just answered this. Yeah, it's under the post section. I posted it, I want to say last week. Okay, I don't remember what this woman's name is. I don't. I'm sure she'll tell us like 15 times. But this was posted publicly yesterday on Pruvit's Facebook page. 28 months. Creators and members that create thumbnails together stay together. We also have the best time, seriously. Yeah, I make thumbnails with the members, and sometimes DC and I make thumbnails on our own. It's a lot of fun. Thank you so much, Ophelia. That's so nice. Welcome to the new members. You guys are awesome. Also, I forgot, I got a little sidetracked. Where did it go? Hello? Oh, let me move this. Let's make this easier. One moment, please. Okay. All right. How's DC doing? She's doing well. I talked to her earlier today. All right, let me get the right layout and let's get into it.
Everyone, and welcome to tonight's mini wellness workshop. I am so excited to be on with my friend Dustin Schaefer tonight. It is going to be an awesome topic. In the comments below, type ultimate summer reset, if you are currently committed.
Who's going to type ultimate summer reset? Sure. What?
To the ultimate summer reset.
Yeah, thank you.
We have 4 different categories that we are doing. We're doing mindset, nutrition, movement, and ketones. So tonight we're going to focus on ketones, but those other categories, we're going to spend each Monday on each of those categories. So today is going to be the ketones. I'm really excited to really dive into the ketone parts of things. What is the goal that you are wanting from the summer reset? I took a little poll to see what it is that people are craving when it comes to the summer reset. And here are some of the things that people told me that they are going for during the summer reset. They said fat loss. Does anyone else have a fat loss goal that they're going for?
Why do they need to go for it if they're drinking ketones and one of the benefits allegedly is fat loss, which we know is not true? Raise your hands, everybody, if you're looking for fat loss. Not everybody's looking for fat loss. Calm down, Sarah.
The ultimate summer reset. I love it. Healthy aging, longevity, creating healthy habits was another one. Better sleep, balanced hormones. Some people said performance, better digestion.
Performance. What? Speaking of performance, did you guys hear that Pure Romance is getting rid of their distributors altogether? And I think, what is the exact wording? Hold on. Chelsea messaged me a little while ago. Thank you, Chelsea. I appreciate you. And let's see. Pure Romance is dropping the MLM business model and going direct to consumer at the end of the month. So apparently, corporate is selling wholesale to consultants that can rebrand for their own, but it's not wholesale Pure Romance. It's still the middleman and raising prices higher than wholesale from manufacturers. So that's interesting. Raise your hand in the chat if you are waiting for Chris and Patty to flee the United States, because I just feel like I'm just waiting for that, you know? Yikes.
Some people talked about lifting their brain fog and better memory and focus. I had some people say that they wanted help with their cravings, so that's why they're doing the ultimate summer reset. I had people say they need more energy all day long, so that's why they're doing this. And another one was nervous system regulation. So we're going to kind of go through all.
Nervous system regulation. I would love to see the Carfax on that. The Carfax specifically showing that drinking Pruvit's ketones help with nervous system regulation, because I'm sure that does not exist. You've got to be kidding me.
All of that tonight, so you can see how ketones are going to help with each one of those things and really how to utilize ketones to maximize each of those categories. So if I haven't got to get to meet you yet, my name is Sarah Ramos.
Why are you introducing yourself? You already did that. You're interrupting the flow of your stream here. They know who you are. And it says your name in the corner, Sarah. That's weird.
I live in Boise, Idaho. I have been drinking ketones for 9 years now. I have never missed a day of drinking ketones. The benefits are just so unbelievable. I feel like I've had a little bit of all of the benefits within these different chapters of my life. It definitely started with mood. My husband was like, "What is it that you are drinking? You are in such a good mood." And to start your day excited and happy is a really, really big deal. And then it immediately went into a fat loss journey for me because my cravings shifted. And the things that I thought that I would never let go of, like sugar, all of a sudden I wasn't craving anymore. I wasn't going to Olive Garden and getting never-ending pasta. Like, it is crazy how much ketones can shift your appetite and shift your cravings. When I got pregnant with the ketones, like, I was so thankful for the sleep.
Why are you raising your hand like a weirdo? What are we doing?
That you get from ketones. Is there anybody else that is like, thank goodness that one of the benefits of ketones is sleep, because I sleep so much better now. I was also thankful for the balance.
Listen, I would tear up some never-ending pasta. For sure, especially knowing tomorrow's leg day.
balancing of my hormones and going from fight or flight to rest and digest, being a mama. Like, I didn't know I needed.
Oh, that's a cute little catchphrase. Going from fight or flight to, what'd you say? To rest and digest. Hey, guess what? Your body's digesting, whether you are resting or not. That's its job. This is so weird. I feel like I have a hair.
That until I became a mom, and they start climbing on those monkey bars, and that fight or flight is so fast, but thank goodness for ketones. And then
what a weird explanation. Are you trying, Sarah, if I may, are you trying to say that Pruvit ketones alleviate mom anxiety as your children grow up and they're starting to do things independently? Because I'm going to call BS on that. That is a predatory statement. I can't even. Oh my God.
Postpartum, it's just been so amazing to be able to release that baby fat. And so there's just so many amazing things with ketones, and we're all so uniquely different. So I am so excited to dive into specifically ketones tonight when it comes to our ultimate summer reset. And I have my friend Dustin on here, who he has the answer to everything when it comes to ketones. He is the expert. Whenever I ask him, his answers are so great. I learn so much every single time. I promise you, you're going to leave wanting more after this.
I doubt it. I doubt it. Dustin. Oh, man. Oh, I forgot. This is my favorite. We're going to do an ASMR moment. I was trying to think of something they say for wine, but it wasn't working. So we're just going to move on. I'm going to open this. If you're a member, you should have a bubbles emote. We rate it 1 through 10. And if you're not into ASMR, once I, put it next to the mic and crack it open, that's okay. Turn the volume down. But this is my jam. I love this. This is my favorite flavor. Dr. Pepper, 0 sugar, strawberries and cream. Not sponsored, but I would like to be. Also, I had a really great meeting with a brand that I think I'm going to be working with. And I'm excited to share that with you guys once that comes. Anyways, let's do this. Okay, that was real short, but very crispy. Cheers, everybody. Sipping on my strawberries and cream right now, too. Cheers, Kayla. I love that. Tacos sound incredible tonight. They do. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how are the bubbles for you? 2 out of 10. Dr. Pepper, I'm going to need you to get together. Very specific. 6.3. Okay. Diet Coke is fine too. Yep. Enjoy whatever it is that you love. It could be a nice crispy beer. It could be whatever. This just happens to be my favorite. All right. Let's see what else Sarah has to say.
Because the way he answers the questions are so phenomenal. So if you are a guest on here, thank you so much for taking your time to be on here. If you have been drinking ketones for a while, or you are part of the business opportunity, thank you so much for being on here. It is going to be a really great call. So I'm going to turn it over to my...
I finally got the hair. I had like a blonde hair that was just hanging out. It was making me crazy because I could feel it, but now I got it. So
friend Dustin to just introduce himself, maybe see a little bit of his background and what got him interested in ketosis, because it's a really cool story.
Wow, we've never heard the story before.
Hey, I do have to ask a question though. How did ketones make you pregnant?
There's keto babies out there.
You got ketones made you pregnant. Oh, during pregnancy. We've had 3, so through the process. All right. Well, hey guys, my name is Dustin Schaefer. I've been just to kind of give you a perspective. I'm 48, and I got my first weight set when I was 8 years old. So as Dr. Wilson was born to be a scientist, I was born to be into health and wellness. And for whatever reason, I think it was because of the demise of my family, everybody getting sick and dying young. I just always got interested in wellness and health and fitness. And so, but my background is I was a former recon Marine college athlete. The sad thing was I lost, my career got cut short in my dreams of doing something magnificent in football. And I lost the use of half my face. I forgot my friends. and I lost use of my leg for a year.
Wow.
I needed a knee replacement at 24 years.
Now, Dustin, this is an incredible story. I'm not sure that I've heard this story from Dustin before, but what I hate is that he's going to be like, and now I drink ketones and that'll never happen again. And that's a lie. That's a lie. And also, I agree with you, Kay Marie. This is trauma dumping. Yep. Hate it. Hey, Tish. Hate this. This right here, hate it.
Years old, and I got diagnosed with an autoimmune condition. So my life just kind of fell out underneath me. And when you're young and you're looking forward to everything and everything stops on a dime, it makes you really have to look in and look for answers. And so I spent all the money I had at the time trying to figure out what was wrong with me, traditional medicine, holistic medicine.
Didn't you just say you had an autoimmune disorder?
Medicine, Western medicine, German medicine, Russian medicine, Chinese medicine. Like I tried like crazy stuff you shouldn't try. I tried, and nothing made me feel better. And what happened is I actually decided to do a 5-day fast, go 5 days without food. And
don't do that. Don't do that. Don't listen to him.
Day 5, well, 4.5, I woke up, and the guy that I used to be, I became again.
What?
And it was just crazy. My friends.
And what happens after you ate? Did you go back to the old guy? I don't. What?
We were literally, like in the backyard where you have like the concrete patios. It's called a patio, but it's concrete, which I don't understand. But anyway, it's concrete patios. Well, we were jackhammering that up, and we were carrying it to the front of the yard, throwing it in a dumpster. And it was those huge driveway-sized dumpsters. And I did like a third of it myself, and there was like 10 dudes there. I couldn't stop. I was just rah.
You're so macho. Justin, you are so macho. For the rest of tonight's live stream, we're going to call him Little Fella. Okay? If you're into that, type Little Fella in the comments, just because I love seeing it and I think it's hilarious.
They were stopping to eat, and I'm just working. And it was the first time I really experienced a deep state of ketosis and what it's like to feel great. So for a year as a health practitioner, I'm a neuromuscular body specialist. I specialize in hormones and how you carry body fat. Like where you carry body fat is directly correlated to hormones inside your body.
I'm sorry, Dustin. Since when are you a hormone specialist? Are you an endocrinologist? Huh? No? Was it the keto course that made you a hormone specialist? I can't. Well, at least Dustin is changing his story a little bit, I guess. Also, this is an unfortunate pause story that I will never apologize for. So feel free to drop a pause story in the comments. If you don't know what a pause story is, you're basically narrating the pause. Like what's causing him to make this facial expression? It's fun. Stay away from like comments about his appearance or anything like that. But, just have a little fun with it. So that's what we call a pause story in case you're new around here and haven't ever heard us talk about that. Also, what university did you graduate from, Dustin? What med school? Please tell us, little fella. When Brian walks in the door, you need to look busy. When those ketones hit while you're driving home. Oh, one thing I know about ketones. Never, ever trust never. Don't do it. When you learn you actually are a urologist, not. Oh my God.
So I worked in this really extreme environment, cool environment, health and wellness, but I was sick, if that makes any sense. And so through that journey, I fired every doctor that I had. I went and took control of my life. I got into a state of ketosis. It took me a year to figure out how to be in that state. This is in 2001, y'all, just so you know, like early on, like super early on in the state. And I woke up and I felt like I had finally figured out an answer, one of the many answers in my health journey. And this was one of the many answers. And for 15 years, I did a ketogenic diet on and off. Meaning off is when I screwed up and I ate something I shouldn't have. On was I was on there almost every day of my adult life. And I figured out a way to live my life and thrive. Have my autoimmune condition under control. My brain started getting better. It wasn't better yet. And when I got introduced to ketones, I was excited because on the way from my wife's a Marine, and so we're driving from North Carolina to California, and where she's in the back of the car pregnant. I had a bed there made for her, and we're driving across the country, and she's like, we got to talk, and that's not what you want to hear from your wife. And I'm like, what's going on? She goes, we got to change your diet. You can't do this. It's going to screw up our kids. You're so extreme on your diet that our kids are going to have this weird complex with food. So this is a real conversation. We get to California, we're in birthing class, and I meet a dude that says, what if you could just drink ketones instead of doing the diet?
Who is the dude? If you guys know who the dude is, that little fella here is not responding, mentioning, that's the word. Hey, Lushy, let me know in the comments who he's talking about. I know who he's talking about. I just am curious. Yeah. Dude, so credible. Who is he talking about? Let's change it to little dude. Fair, Alexis. Michael Rutherford. Hey, Mike, how did court go today? I haven't heard, but I'll have the updates probably tomorrow. Let me check my email real quick. I can't. Yeah, I don't have anything yet, but hopefully I'll have an update for you tomorrow. But anyways.
True story.
Rutherford.
And I'm like, that'd be awesome. And that was the launch of Pruvit. And we started drinking ketones. After about 2 years, I stopped the ketogenic diet. I do a hybrid. I cycle in and out using our iFast and Belly Burn. And
oh, really? You had the iFast back then? Because no, you didn't. You didn't even have the reboot kit back then. You're a liar. You're lying. Yeah, I hate it.
Get a little deeper in, but I come back to a normal, more of my normal, and I go back in, but I keep drinking ketones daily. And it's transformed my life. But the biggest benefit I've gotten of ketones is this. Because of my head injury was so severe, I get a little emotional, so I apologize, but I never thought I'd ever get to go on a roller coaster with my kids. And
I'm sorry. I know you are not getting ready to say that drinking Pruvit's ketones helps with a head injury, because that would be a health claim. You can't say that. This is an unfortunate pause story. Keep it clean, friends. It's a family show. I know that's coming because he wouldn't be saying it. He wouldn't be lining it up this way if he wasn't getting ready to say that. So just prepare yourselves, because I'm pretty sure that's coming.
seat of a car would tear me up. I mean, I was out for days. Like I couldn't, like you couldn't touch my head. Like it was, everything was so sensitive. I'd wore my sunglasses for 20 years. And after 6 months of drinking ketones, and remember at the time I was still on the ketogenic diet, just to show you the significance of how deep you have to be and how high ketone levels have to be. Like, this is why it's so important that you just don't try ketones, that you use ketones consistently.
No.
6 months later, on my first roller coaster. I've been on every single roller coaster in the country that I can go on, at the biggest ones possible, and my kids love them. And I have no fear. I don't get crash. I don't get emotional. I don't start bawling. I don't pass out. That used to happen on me on roller coasters, and now there's no problem in there. I had a brain scan done. The last brain scan I had done, my brain looks like it's less than 22, under 22 years old. It looks like it's a young little baby and a beautiful, beautiful brain.
Who did the scan? For those of us that have been a part of Pruvit, have you ever heard Dustin tell this story before? I must know if you're comfortable saying yay or nay or whatnot. Oh my God. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. I meant to pin this. I apologize. But thank you. I appreciate the support. Ketosis and ketones in your bloodstream are not the same, fella. Little fella. Oh, yeah. What's the name of the brain scan? Right. Who did the scan? What kind of scan? Let's have some more details. Because what? Oh, man. Same, Lizzie. Yeah, let me know if you were a part of Pruvit, or you can message me privately if you want. I've never heard him talk about this specifically with roller coasters or the brain injury. I don't think I've ever heard him say that he's a hormone, what do you say, specialist? I've never heard that. Did he go to Mel Gibson's doctor for the scan? Oh my God. Yeah, but you fired the doctors who do the scans. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
I just realized I didn't have my headphones on. I have to have the headphones on. Oh, that's better.
so I'm super grateful for Pruvit, because without ketones, I couldn't get there with the diet alone. And now I get to find a better way to live my life. So, Sarah, I know that's a
What?
longer story than I usually tell, but I'm excited because I want to help everybody have some kind of an experience, and I want to help you get the best experience possible. And there's different ways to use ketones for different things that you're looking for, and I'm going to teach you each one of those today.
Dustin, that was so good. And I have not heard your story in depth like that. I got a little tear over here because it involves your kids and being able to do something that you didn't
pretty
think you were going to
special.
be able to do. Oh, okay. So let's start with the basics. So those of us that are on here drinking ketones, we're probably all drinking a different amount of ketones every single day. Some of us are drinking 1 serving. Some of us are drinking
28. Some of us are combining 3 or 4 products into one blender bottle. Oh, by the way, I did email the Clarkson law firm, and I'm going to send them the lab results from the Pruvit's ketones, the ones that I had tested thanks to the help from many of you guys when we did the 2 fundraisers. So those are going to be sent. The lab results will be sent, and hopefully I'll be talking with them next week sometime, which would be amazing, because just added somebody else to, unfortunately, that I didn't know about, to the list of people that I was, that I've been notified had or have cancer, and we're drinking Pruvit's ketones. And let me just say, I know that correlation is not causation, but several years ago, all of a sudden, I was like, I need to track this. I don't know why I need to track this, but I need to track this. And I started, and we're up to 17 lives. Could it be related? I don't know, but I've been trying to get I've been trying to get this information into the right people's hands for quite some time. So hopefully the Clarkson law firm can look at stuff and we can have a conversation, and, we'll go from there.
2. Some of us are drinking 3 servings of ketones a day. Put in the chat, how many
3
servings of ketones are you drinking a day? Let's talk about someone who is just starting off with 1 packet of ketones per day. What would you?
Let's talk about the behavior control. So we'll call this Exhibit A, I guess. Exhibit A, you are buying the product. The distributors are buying the product and then consuming it and calling themselves a business owner. So when you hear people saying, like Sarah, how many of you are drinking 1 packet a day? How many are you drinking 2? How many are you drinking 3? This has been my concern since I got out and started speaking out against Pruvit and multilevel marketing companies, the amount of products that they consume on a daily basis. Now, when I was a part of Pruvit, they would say, drink 2 a day. 2 a day was like the optimal amount. But then it started to become more and more and more. Now, they may not say it on the Pruvit official trainings, but there is undue influence from uplines, because they know that if they can get these people drinking more product, that they make more commission. So their Exhibit A right here. How many are you personally drinking? These are products that these distributors have to buy. Along with, you have to pay the distributor the promoter fee. I believe it's $49 in order to even be a part of it. So just keep that in mind, referencing the lawsuit.
You say to best coach them on like how to best utilize that 1 packet? Like, when should they be drinking it throughout the day?
Yeah, this is a great question. And this is super important. I want you all to listen really clearly.
Super
here.
important.
And Sarah's going to ask me some questions about a lot of things that you might be working through, some maybe anxiousness and maybe stress, maybe it's appetite control, maybe it's fatigue and you need it for energy. And I want you to look at this from those perspectives. Too many people believe that they just have to drink it in the morning because that's what somebody told them to do. And that's probably going to be for most people. But this is when you really want to drink ketones, is when you need it the most. So if you're a person that's high stress and you're kind of an anxious person, that's kind of like me, and you only got one serving, you want to drink it when you're the most stressed. So if you wake up in the morning, you're like cool as a cucumber, you're chill. I love mornings, so I'm like super good in the morning. But as the day gets going, it gets away from me. So if that's at 10 o'clock in the morning, then have it at 9. If it's at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, then have it at 1. If you're somebody that tends to crash in the afternoon, ladies, I see a lot of ladies on here. If you have men that crash in the afternoon, you know what I'm talking about, right? Give it to them an hour before they start to get a little tired or a little crashy, and then it carries them the rest of the day. So I really believe that.
I don't like his language. I don't, that whole delivery, I don't like that. Not one bit. Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
A lot more people should be prioritizing afternoon ketones more than morning ketones. Now, some people can drink in the morning and they get it all day long, but that's not always the case. So I think the best time to take it is when you need it the most. So if you're high stress in the afternoon, have it in the afternoon. If you're high or low energy in the afternoon, have it in the afternoon, about an hour before the normal time. If you wake up fatigued and tired and you need to get the day going, then have it in the morning. If you're able to have 2 a day, have morning and then afternoon. But I still want you to plan it when you need it the most, not because some schedule told you that this is when you're supposed to take it.
Oh, you mean the schedule that you guys have put out for many, many years? Remember when it was drink, not diet? But if you notice, many of these people in Pruvit are told, maybe not by Pruvit directly, but by the top leaders in the company, they are influenced to manipulate their diet. Now, if Pruvit's ketones did everything that they said that it allegedly does, you wouldn't have to make all of those changes to your diet. You wouldn't have to put yourself in a calorie deficit, which is what a lot of these people are doing. And then they're crediting Pruvit's ketones for losing weight. Well, if you're manipulating your caloric intake, and because you're drinking thousands, multiple 1,000%, I can't remember the exact number, of vitamin B and caffeine, of course you're going to have more energy temporarily. So you're going to do a little bit more. Maybe you get more steps in. Maybe you get more stuff done. You're burning more calories in that. So you're manipulating your caloric intake. You're dropping the calories that you're consuming, and you're moving more. So you're putting yourself into a calorie deficit. But they're saying, oh, it's from the ketones. No, it's from a calorie deficit. You don't need ketones to get into a calorie deficit.
And so just to be transparent, I often don't have my first one until 9, 10 o'clock. Why? Because I'm pretty awesome in the morning. Like I'm really good in the morning. I don't feel like I need anything other than what I had from when I woke up. But around that 10 o'clock, I can turn it on a little bit better. For me, it's more anxiousness. I get kind of anxious and it keeps me more balanced. So that's what I use it for. So Sarah, that's really when you want to do it, is morning and afternoon, kind of depending on when you need it the most is when you're going to have it. Take all rules and throw them out the window. I promise you that'll serve you more than anything else.
I love it. I like drinking mine first thing in the morning before my kid wakes up, because that's where I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to remind her 55 times to eat her breakfast, get dressed, and get out the door for school. So it's definitely mornings for me, but I like that. Just to throw the system out, listen to your body. Like whenever you need it the most, that's when you need to be drinking your ketones.
Throw the system out. The system they created. Oh man, they have said for years, just follow the system. And this is a perfect example of them, just the contradictions. They used to say drink 2 ketones a day. Then it became drink 2 ketones, reboot once a month. Then it became all of these extra things, add the mitoplex, add this. Who is fronting the bill for that? The distributor is. The distributor is paying for all of that. And this system that they have used for however many years, Oh, forget about that. I know we used to say that. We used to say drink over diet, but if you want to maximize it, we're going to have to, whatever this summer reset thing. I think somebody mentioned this to me, and I think they're selling people allegedly or asking the distributors to buy 5 of the iFast kits. 5 of them. That's what the system includes. And if you remember from the beginning of this, they mentioned nutrition and they mentioned moving your body. So are the results people are seeing from drinking ketones or from putting themselves into a calorie deficit?
Ketones. Okay, let's go through some different goals that people might have with doing this ultimate summer reset and just talk about how to best coach them through utilizing ketones to hit their goals. So let's start with fat loss, because I did see there's a lot of people on here that have a goal of losing some fat. So how would you coach someone with ketones to have a successful fat loss journey?
I would not have them drink ketones. I also want to mention Exhibit B. As I'm listening to this, yes, they're doing a training, and right now they are kind of gearing it towards customers, but they're also talking to the Pruvit promoters as well. And this is an example. How do I want to word this? This is an example of what I believe to be work expectations. So they, meaning the distributors, the promoters, are probably instructed to share this summer reset program. They're probably instructed to buy however many iFast kits. They're probably instructed to buy a certain amount of ketones and to follow this new system, even though they're like, throw out the old system. This is the new system. It probably involves the distributors buying even more products. So there's an expectation of work that these distributors are supposed to be doing, not just buying the product, but also on social media promoting the product, and they're not compensated for that work. You should be compensated for your work. Nothing wrong with that, unless somebody decides to buy ketones from them or somebody decides to join them, unfortunately. I don't know why people would do that in 2025, but okay. So there's work expectations here. And unless you sell a product or unless you recruit somebody, there is zero compensation. So Exhibit B, based on I'm laughing because Exhibit B, it sounds so formal. But that I wanted to give specific examples of how in their own training, we see examples of what is mentioned in the lawsuit.
Okay, and just so you know, this is its own call, by the way. So I'm going to give you a condensed version of this, and very soon, but we have a whole coaching platform to give you in the next week or so that you can have all that information. But how it's going to work is that most people, when we're looking at fat loss, we really want calories got to come down. Okay, so no matter what, you got to eat less than your body can burn. So that's just what I hope that makes sense. You have to eat less.
It's not that hard. It's 2025. I think everybody has a very basic understanding of what a calorie deficit is, or decreasing your calories. It's not that difficult. He always thinks he always tries to act like he is saying the most profound thing, and it's very basic. It's weird to me. It's weird.
To lose body fat. If you're eating too much and you're not losing weight, it's because you're eating too much. Okay. How do ketones play a role is a few things. One, we have option one is we're going to replace breakfast. I'm going to trick you here, or you're going to replace dinner.
Is that a Freudian slip? We're going to trick you here. How is he tricking you? He's getting people to do intermittent fasting. I've had many conversations with Brianna Jewell, who is a registered dietitian. I asked her this question, hey, is intermittent fasting a way just to manipulate your caloric intake? To which she said yes. And I said, okay, so if I understand this correctly, if you were to take the calories that you want to consume based on your goals, and you were to spread it out over, 3 or 4 meals for the day, you would have a better outcome for most people than just intermittent fasting and then putting all your food intake within a small window. She was like, yeah. So he's talking about a calorie deficit. He's leading people into intermittent fasting Is it really about the ketones? Or is it about seeing what you can get people to do so that you can, add a little bit more? Okay, now we're going to add the iFast kit. Okay, now we're going to add 2 iFast kits. Okay, now we're going to say, well, if you really want to be successful, you'll do 3. Where does this end?
And I want you to try both and see which one you like better. So you're going to use the ketones for breakfast. Wake up in the morning, drink your ketones. You're going to extend your first.
I'm a little late, but I'm confused. Totally okay, Monica. At the beginning of this, I went over the class action lawsuit that has been filed against Pruvit and kind of explained that. And now I'm showing examples of things that were claims that were made in the lawsuit. I know I worded that really weird, but yeah.
Fast, eat maybe around 11 or 12 o'clock, and then don't eat after 8 p.m. Super important. You don't want to eat 3 hours before you go to bed. Okay.
If you're hungry, you should eat. I don't know. Are there any registered dietitians in the chat? I know sometimes there are. Let me know if there is, because I have a question. Yeah, so let me know.
Keto Pro is the only exception. You can have that because it doesn't mess you up. The other way of doing it is you eat breakfast. How many breakfast people are out there? How many of you love breakfast? You love breakfast? Let's eat it. I'm gonna mess you up. I know it because you've been following all the rules. I want you to eat your breakfast. If you still need ketones, have them at 10 o'clock. Have them before breakfast. I don't care, actually. Have them if you like them because they're amazing for so many reasons. But eat your breakfast, eat your lunch, and then replace your dinner, their last meal, with your ketones. Now, if it's too late, you're going to have to switch to non-caffeine. Okay. If you're having 2 a day, perfect. Have 1 in the morning, and then you can have a ketone in the afternoon or a Keto Pro for dinner. Okay. Non-caffeine. So you can do it either way. And the reason we like to do this is because when you close your eating window down to a smaller window, like 8 hours, you're eating between let's say you eat between 7 and 3, 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. You just closed your eating window, and then you're fasting from 3 p.m. all the way to the next day. So you're just going to eat less calories. The only thing I add on that is fat loss is your goal. The one thing that you have to do is you still have to hit your protein goals. And I'm going to give you a range.
Okay, but that range is going to be different for everybody. So this blanket range, probably not the best to be giving. Also, if you're wanting to be in a calorie deficit and you have specific macros, this is my opinion, and you have specific macros that you're trying to hit, you want to eat, let's say 4 times a day, let's say 3 times a day. You just divide that over the 3 meals or the 4 meals or however many times you want to eat. If you're somebody that likes to snack more often or whatever, smaller meals, whatever. They always try to make it sound like it's this, profound thing. It's very simple math. And here's the thing. You don't need ketones to do it. Nope, don't need it.
Women, you're going to want to eat between 70 grams of protein a day to 120 grams of protein a day, primarily animal-based protein. Men, you need between 100 and 150 grams of protein a day. And the rule is you can't have too much. You can always have more. High side better. Okay.
I don't know about that, but I feel like that's out of my scope to say anything. I think you can have too much protein. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Older you are, the better. More. The science is getting more and more clear here. So that's the only rule I care about for weight loss and ketones. Okay.
Who wrote the rule?
Now, last little thing about this is the first thing I said about when do you need it the most? That should still primarily be your method of when you take it. So if you're a person that wakes up with vigorous vitality, you feel good, you have an appetite in the morning, then eat breakfast, save your ketones. If you only have 1 shot to have them, then have them in the afternoon or have it at like 10 o'clock and then later, a little bit later, and then fast all night. Now with kids, it's a little easier for me to skip breakfast. It's harder for me to skip dinner with kids. So I have a life choice I'm making, okay? So some of you are north of 50 and maybe you have kids out of the house and you don't care, then you can skip dinner, right? And listen, one more thing.
Please don't skip meals. Food has no moral value. If you're hungry, eat. If tracking macros is too triggering, don't do it. Learn how to build a complete plate. Develop a healthy, relationship with food. You don't need ketones to do any of this. Dustin's just begging for people to stick around.
It doesn't have to be the same thing every day. You could do it one way and then 2 days later do it the other way. Rules, throw them away. It's just about eating less, prioritizing protein, drink your ketones once to twice a day.
Rules, throw them away. But didn't he just say that's the rule for protein? God. Yeah, can we please not encourage disordered eating? Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Right. Okay, it's not just me. I was like, wait, didn't he just give rules? Throw the rules out the window. Follow the system. Don't worry about the system. Which is it? He's giving these people whiplash.
Okay. Last thing I'll say about weight loss and fat burning is exercise is crucial, you all. And we'll do another talk about exercise, but it's got to be more than just brisk walking. So, but
that's gonna depend on the person. That's gonna depend. I feel like that's kind of an ableist comment, because there are some people that their goal is to be able to walk more steps. I feel like, well, it's got to be more than walking. For some people, they don't have the ability to do that, and that's their goal. So for you to get on here and say, oh, well, it's got to be more than walking, that's going to come down to somebody's ability. We're talking mobility, flexibility, chronic illness. There's so many factors. And for him to say this stuff is just, it's so out of touch. I feel like it's so ableist. And this is why you work with professionals. This right here, because this kind of language is dangerous. Yes. But somebody that has a goal just to be able, for example, to move their body a little bit more, just to get through the day, to do the daily living activities. If you say, well, it's got to be more than just walking, there's a lot of people that are going to be discouraged by that. Their goal may be, hey, I'd like to be able to get out of bed and do a load of laundry or things like that. What I'm trying to say is, we have to be aware of everybody's limitations and everybody's abilities. And when we are giving very vague, generic things like this, you're excluding people. And maybe that's good, because we don't want people drinking Pruvit's ketones. But it just, as a personal trainer, just really irritates me, because every one of my clients is different. Every one of them has a different program that I have written for them based on their abilities, their medical history, medications that they are taking, and their goals. And this generic language is, it excludes people. And I don't like that. I think, yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
That's the minimum. There should be more than that. I hope that helps.
Yeah, and you're going to notice with each one of these questions that they could be a call within themselves. I told Dustin how many questions I had for him, and he said that's going to be a 4.5-hour call. So I'm telling you, you're going to be left wanting more. And let's go on to the next question. So let's talk about.
I feel like I need that on a shirt. I don't know who said it first. Yes, this right here. Snacks are not a tax. I love this. I love that a lot. I'm gonna write that down.
Gut health and digestion.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about both directions. So let's say somebody starts on ketones and they have loose stools. I've had people experience that before. How can you guide them to continue drinking their ketones if they are experiencing that?
Yeah. So first thing is to keep in mind is that ketones actually now have been shown to heal the gut lining. So you got to remember that they're trying to go to.
Oh, really? Do tell us about that study. Snacks are not a tax. God, I love that. Circling that. That must happen. And I feel like when I do like merch stuff, I feel like it's got to be some kind of a fundraiser. Yeah, so I'm going to think on that.
work. 95% of Americans or Western civilizations have some type of low-level gut inflammatory markers, meaning their gut's not as healthy as it should be.
Can I get a source for that? Where did that come from? Did you just pull it out of thin air or pull it out of somewhere else? I'm just asking. I think I've used that fart noise like 4 times on this live stream. Oh, okay. If we did it this month, we could donate to the Trevor Project, which I would love to do. It's Pride Month. Happy Pride Month, everybody. Happy Pride Month. I can't believe I didn't say that earlier. My apologies.
So ketones are trying to heal them. So it confuses some things. And then you add into the healing effect, you add in people changing their diet. And then our ketones are a mineral ketone, being they're ketone salt. And those can cause, if you change your diet too quickly with those, it can actually get loose, right? And
scratching your head because it's not making sense, my guy. Yeah, rainbows and rainbows in the chat for all of my Alphabet Mafia peeps. All are welcome here. Okay. What was I going to say? What did he just say? I lost my train of thought there. Give me a second. Oh my God, please do this. I need to hire a barbershop quartet to do a song titled Gut Health Means Just Means Pooping. Fundraising for paying the lawyers. Ooh, that's where I was going. Did you guys know there's different types of beta hydroxybutyrate salts? And did you know that the one that Pruvit uses, sodium beta hydroxybutyrate, I believe, is the cheapest version? I don't even remember how I came up with this. I didn't know there was other types of BHB, beta hydroxybutyrate. But yeah, the sodium beta hydroxybutyrate is like the cheapest version and the least effective, if I remember correctly. I will find a source on that and I will post it. I'll make a post on my YouTube channel. Yeah, MLMs go with the cheapest. Say it isn't so. Yeah. He was scratching his head because he wasn't making sense. Indeed. Indeed. Pause story and you'll go number 2. Oh my God.
It can work both ways, by the way. So what you want to do is a few things. If you're somebody that's experiencing maybe loose stools, we'll say, on ketones, keep in mind that it's not common, but it's not unnormal either. It happens. And it happens anytime people make major changes. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to a half a serving, cut down, reduce it in half, slow the drinking time. So drink a little slower. Okay. That's the first thing you're going to want to do. Second thing you want to do is we want to add bulk to your stools. So often what happens is people start drinking ketones, they start eating less food, and then they start cutting out carbohydrates because it's natural. Now, I never once said weight loss, you have to cut out carbohydrates. It definitely helps by cutting out carbohydrates because you eat less and you're cutting out a lot of the sugary, non-good foods.
What the hell are you talking about? So, okay. For those of you that don't know, maybe you're new here. Welcome, by the way. I'm glad you're here. Like the video if you haven't already. Please subscribe. It helps me get the word out so that people don't listen to people like Dustin. Your body needs carbs. Your body needs carbs. Where was I going with this? I'm going through this fitness nutrition specialist course right now, and I'm remembering things that I've been reading. So he's saying that cutting out carbs decreases your caloric intake. While that might be true, your body needs carbs. Your brain needs carbs. It's our main fuel source. But what I find really fascinating is that carbs, they are 4 calories per gram. Fat is 9 calories per gram. And when I see a lot of these people that are keto, and I'm not saying that Dustin is, this is just where my brain was going. And I see people that are like, oh, well, I'm eating keto or I'm eating carnivore or whatever. And I'm thinking about the calories that they're taking in specifically with keto. And they're replacing fat and you're taking in 9 calories per gram when you're consuming fat versus carbs that are 4 calories per gram. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's interesting to me. I don't know why I was thinking about that. I don't know why I'm having these flashes of things that I'm reading in my my fitness nutrition specialist through Ace Fitness. But I am. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Oh man, cut out carbs. Listen, let me just say this. If anybody is telling you to cut out food groups, unfollow them. Goodbye, block them. Do not listen to them. If anybody is trying to sell you supplements, absolutely not. Nope. Especially if it's an influencer, somebody with a large amount of following. No. Let me see the Carfax. And when I say Carfax, I mean the scientific evidence on that product that it does what you're saying it does. Pruvit doesn't have that. They're not proving it. Pun absolutely intended.
And you're prioritizing protein. But when you do that, it reduces the bulk in your stool. So your stool has less bulk, slowing the transit time down. So when then you pound ketones, it actually speeds up.
Or you could eat fruits and vegetables that has fiber. Now, fiber is technically classified as, I read this last night, fiber is classified as a carbohydrate, but it has less calories and it's fiber, so it fills you up more. So if you are eating fruits and vegetables, you're increasing your fiber intake, which takes up more space, gets your digestive system working properly. And guess what? You don't need ketones to do that. And eating high volume, adding fiber into every meal if possible, whether it's fruit and vegetables, that kind of thing. It's not only going to fill you up, but it's easier to get into a calorie deficit. So,
okay, there's 2 reasons why this is super important.
Yeah.
One is you don't want the ketones. You want the ketones going.
K. Marie is way smarter than me, but I did not know. Listen, I did not know that fiber is considered a carb. I just learned that yesterday. So, just sharing.
Going slowly through your GI tract because you're going to absorb more and you feel better. Okay. Number 2, it's just not pleasant. So this is what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have it. You're going to want to have a meal before you have your ketones. Start with a half a serving. That might solve it all. If that doesn't, you're going to want to have a meal first. Eat a meal and definitely have protein and some type of fiber-based meal with it. So vegetables, you can add some psyllium husk, like it's super inexpensive. You can add some psyllium husk. You can take it in a powder form or you can put it in pill form and have about 5-6 grams of fiber with your meal before.
I'd rather have fruits and vegetables with the meal. What are we doing?
Why? Fiber bulks up. It actually slows down the transit time. If you were eating all the vegetables you should be eating, you would have enough fiber. But because people don't eat enough, it slows down the bulk. Well, fiber also helps create better bacteria in your gut. Now, if you're a carnivore person out there, I want you to just ignore me for a second because that's another longer topic and we're not going to go there.
Or don't eat carnivore because your body needs fiber and carbs. Thank you.
I'm talking for the normal. I'm talking about normal eating people. We need this fiber. Okay. So you're going to have your ketones then after your meal. Okay. So have breakfast and then have your ketones. Or have lunch and then have your ketones. Okay. This is super important because we need to improve the gut health, overall gut health. And ironically, this will work for constipation and diarrhea exactly the same. And I know that seems kind of crazy, but
you know what's crazy is if you're taking a product that is giving you explosive diarrhea, you should probably stop taking that product. If you have to manipulate what you eat and it's not a prescribed medication from your doctor, and you have to either only take a half a packet or you have to plan your meals around taking said multi-level marketing supplement, you probably should stop taking that supplement. That's just my opinion here, but wow, yikes.
Normally works the exact same for both people, okay? So if your goal is weight loss, what is psyllium husk? Psyllium husk is it's a natural fiber. You can buy it. It's very inexpensive. And it basically, it absorbs fluid, but it also has insoluble fiber in it, which doesn't absorb. And it'll just help it usually helps the gut lining get kind of healthy. But there's a lot of things on Amazon that you can look up, like prebiotic fibers, organic vegan fibers. There's a million kind out there. I don't like things like Metamucils and things like that because they often add other things for constipation, and that can confuse people.
You should not be giving anybody advice on how they can treat constipation. You are not qualified to do that. This is wild. This is wild. Yeah. And also, let me see, we're 22 minutes into this video, and I'd like to present you guys with Exhibit C. This is a perfect example of those mandatory or high pressure attend this meeting things that these distributors are not getting paid for. They're on this Zoom. It's like a 53-minute long Zoom or team call or whatever. This often happens multiple times a week. And this is a perfect example of the, hey, I'm going to need you to get on this training, treating the distributors like an employee, but classifying them as an independent contractor. So Exhibit C. Oh, we have somebody here. Hold on. Hi. What are you doing? Would you like to come say hi? Did you wake up from your nap? She always does this. Come here, baby. What are you doing? Hi, honey. Hi, honey. Come here. Come and say hi. They love seeing you. They love seeing your little cat paws. They love hearing you. Oh, we're very color coordinated today, I feel like. Everybody, this is Luna, in case you didn't know. Look at her face. What are you doing? Oh my goodness. Let's get some purrs. Can y'all hear that? I love you. Sometimes when I pet her like this, I call it neck squeezes. I don't know what y'all call it, but she drools a little bit. And I think it's hilarious. Did I get the toe beans? Here they are. Toe beans, everybody. You just got a new kitty? Oh, Jill, I'm so excited for you. She'll drool a little bit. I love you, mamas. Love you. Hi. Are you making air biscuits? Oh, are you done? What? I love you. Okay. She's so cute. You came in at the perfect time, Alex. You really did. Okay, back to work we go. Let me pick the right layout. There it is. This unfortunate pause story.
Plain and simple. You just need fiber with nothing else added to it. Okay. Let's keep it simple. But what's the most important thing is eat more vegetables, low carb vegetables. That's what you really want to do. So things like broccoli and cauliflower and.
Why do they have to be low carb vegetables?
Asparagus and Brussels sprouts, lots of green leafy vegetables. You want to increase your vegetable base. What that'll do is that'll naturally get this gut in alignment, okay? Because you have to replace all the stuff you've taken out of your diet when it comes to this bulking of the stools, okay? And then once you get it kind of healthy, then you don't have to be so over the top perfect on it. And so that's how it's going to work. Now, if you're a person that is trying to fast, intermittent fast, and do all these other things, I tell people then focus on gut health before you focus on the fasting. If your gut's not, because it's just super healthy to have your gut really aligned properly and having really good stools. So focus a couple weeks on getting your gut back in line, and then bring back the intermittent fasting.
Now, here's a hot take. Maybe work with your doctor on that, and not somebody that's in an MLM trying to cosplay like they're a hormone and gut health expert. Disrespectfully with my entire chest. Dustin, little fella,
What you're going to have to do is, if you have to eat 3 meals a day to keep everything going in the right manner, you just have to eat smaller meals so that your calories are still down so that you can maintain that. So I hope that helps. So that works for constipation and diarrhea both, but it's increasing fiber in your diet, using either supplementation, but I prefer it through vegetable base, but you may have to do both. A little bit of fiber, psyllium husk pills or powder, or a little bit of, and then Dr. Heather actually has a really cool chia pudding that helps too, because it's another way to get some fiber and it's low carb. It's a nice little snack.
I do love chia pudding. A lot. I do love chia pudding, although I've been on a overnight oats kick lately. Last night I made peach cobbler overnight oats for this morning, and it was divine. Let's see the recipe if I can remember. Oh, wait. I have it right here on my Resimi app. Resimi, not sponsored, but I did email you. Would love to work with you guys. I think, first of all, I need this available for Android as well, but they do have a Chrome extension. I've talked about this a lot. Let's get rid of Dustin for just a second. So peach cobbler overnight oats. Half a cup. Oh, wait, let me go. Let's see. A quarter of a cup of rolled oats, 0.13 cups of milk, 0.13 cups of peach yogurt. This is for one serving. 0.5 tablespoons of pure maple syrup, 0.5 tablespoons of chia seeds, half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and 0.13 cups of diced peaches. Mix it all up, put it in a little container, whatever you have. And I like to heat mine up because I don't like cold oatmeal. It freaks me out a little bit. So anyways, yeah, overnight oats. That's what we had last night or this morning. Made it last night, had it this morning. I've been on this kick. It's really good. What am I having tomorrow? Did I mention you can meal plan on Resimi? And you can put your grocery list together, and they have a Chrome extension. Let's see, tonight, what I'm going to make is strawberry cheesecake overnight oats. And let's see, oats, quarter of a cup of vanilla unsweetened almond milk. I'll probably just use whatever milk I have in there. Some honey, some chia seeds, some sugar-free cheesecake jello mix, and some strawberries. Yeah. Anyways, I know strawberry cheesecake, right? I'm very excited about it. Let's see what Dustin has to say.
That's so good. And I love that it's the same protocol for both.
Both.
I'm sorry, did you say protocol? Ooh, I don't like that.
I have a friend that she could not go number 2 for days, and I couldn't imagine what that feels like. It would be terrible. And ketones have really been the solution for her. So amazing. Okay, I'm going to keep going. So let's talk if somebody is hooked on like energy drinks, or there's somebody that needs like a nap in the middle of the day. So their goal is really to have like all day energy.
What are you doing, Luna girl? Are you okay? Oh, she's going to get sick. Are you all right, Mama? What's the matter?
With ketones, how would you coach that person on like being most successful with their journey?
Yeah, so if you're people that need energy, that are really struggling with energy, there's actually 3 phases that we got to look at. And so the first one is, like I mentioned earlier, you just take it about an hour before you need it. If you need the energy in the afternoon, take your ketones. Like, don't have it in the morning. Like, wait. If you only get one option, if you only can have one. If you can have 2, just have 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. But have it with caffeine. If you're a person that needs energy, have it with the caffeine. You probably are addicted to it anyway. But that leads me to the second thing you should do. If you're really struggling with energy, there's people out there right now that'll have the caffeinated ketones and still get tired. They are probably have adrenal issues, and they need to cut caffeine all the way out. And that's a month-long process. It's not easy. It's not fun. It sucks. I actually am that person. So I either have to drink caffeine all day long, or I can't have it at all. But it takes me about a week to 10 days to completely get off caffeine. And I have headaches and withdrawals, and I feel horrible. So I just never stop. I just line it up into my IV. Truly, true story. So anyway.
True story. You just line up caffeine through your IV. Now, I know he's trying to be funny, but it's not funny. This is weird.
What you want to do though, if you're somebody that, hey, listen, you're caffeine sensitive, well, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to slowly pull yourself off of all caffeine and only use non-caffeine ketones because they still give you the same energy, but that way you're not crashing. So if somebody crashes 2 or 3 hours after they have caffeine, they usually have a problem. It's them. So we got to get them all the way off of caffeine. Okay. And basically cold turkey and then, or slowly cut it down and then switch over to non-caffeine ketones. The third part of this person is maybe we have to improve their sleep. So what I like to do is somebody that needs a lot of energy and that's struggling. Actually, you guys know the voice of Siri. She's on our team. The actual voice lady of Siri. She's on our team, and it was the coolest thing meeting her. But she's like, I've been drinking these ketones for a month, and I don't have any more energy. And I'm like, when's the last time you slept through the night? She goes, it's been 25 years. I'm like, oh, well, there you go. I go, ketones aren't going to correct your sleep dysfunction by giving you more energy if you just need to rest. So I go, what we're going to do is switch you over to the non-caffeine in the afternoon, and we're going to do a keto pro or keto chill at night in about an hour before you go to bed. She started sleeping through the night after 2 weeks. 2 weeks, she had all the energy she's ever needed because we just improved her sleep. We didn't focus on the energy. We focused on the rest and recovery. So these are just some little hacks that you can do to help people get better. So it's okay to do a caffeine keto in the morning, caffeine keto in the afternoon, and then a chill at night. That's what I do. And I sleep like a baby, but I have energy all day long and I kick butt for my family. That's the recipe I figured out for myself.
That's awesome. And you kind of answered my next question about sleep, because sometimes people toss and turn all night long. They can't turn their brain off. So is that what they should be doing, is doing like the non-caffeine before bed, the pro and the chill? Is that what you would suggest?
You know what I would suggest? Talking to your doctor. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have actually 4 things I recommend you to try. So you start with what you have, and then you add what you don't. So here's the 4. Before you go to bed, and I'm not going to say, I'm going to say this too. Yeah, it's good to have a dark room.
I'm going to say the contradictions.
Good to go to bed at the same time every night. It's good to, black out the blinds. It's good to turn off your cell phone. It's good to do all those other things. But listen, we're busy people. Somebody wrote in the chat, people got to relax a little bit. Anybody that writes in the chat that people have to relax obviously doesn't have a busy life. Like,
ew, Dustin. Oh, I hope whoever said that and then watched his response and him laughing at them, I hope they immediately left. And they were like, no, thank you. God, he is so rude. Oh.
Like, I need to relax. I get it. I still don't. It's like telling somebody not to worry, right? It's like, well, I'm already worrying, so I can't just not worry. I get it, though. We want to try to create environments to set ourselves up for a rest, right? And the more intentional we can be of that, the better, okay? So how do we actually improve sleep? Utilizing tools, though, is really important. Is what we want to do is you want to start with, if you have ketones at home and that's the only thing you have your ketones about an hour, non-caffeine about an hour before you go to bed. Try it for 3 days. If you're not sleeping any better, then we'll try next one. And the next one is the one you buy, because you may not have them. If you don't have them, buy one of them or buy all of them and try each of them. But
of course, his solution is for people to buy more products. Oh, this one's not working for you? Okay, now try Keto Chill. Of course, that's the solution. Okay. God. Pruvit is so notorious for personal consumption, having a personal consumption model. It's just so gross. Ugh.
The next one you can try is our Keto Chill. And it comes in little bottles and you can just drink it. Comes in a pack of 6. I would probably try 2 packs of those. Chill works great for me, but I found one that works even better, and I split between the 2. Okay. For some people, the Keto S Pro, the protein, works really well. And now what I've found out is every one of them work differently for different people. And that's why I think all of them matter. Is ketones, it's usually because you have anxiety, more of a stress in your brain. So when the ketones work, it's usually calming down your mind. It's quieting your mind down.
You know what else helps quiet your mind? You could read before bed. You could meditate. You could journal. You could listen to calming music. There's so many other things that you can do that don't require you buying Pruvit's ketones and buying multiple products from Pruvit.
When the chill works, it's more that you're a more anxious type of person. When the pro works, it's usually because your body is dropping blood sugar too fast and you're basically waking up to go eat and hunt. And that's very common in pre-diabetics or even diabetics.
What?
So the Keto Pro is going to extend food throughout the night. Okay. And it's going to give you nutrients and energy throughout the night. So your body doesn't want to wake up to go eat. Okay.
Which nutrients? Because the Pro has like 4 or 6 grams of protein in it. And they tried to say it was a protein shake and I laughed, but oh God.
So if you're a person that wakes up hungry or wants to go eat, then have a Keto Pro. It's going to work really well. And all these are.
I think Keto Chill has like ashwagandha. And how much? Oh, we don't know because it's a proprietary blend. Yeah.
About an hour before you go to bed. You want to make sure you go to the bathroom before you go to bed. So you don't want to go pee all night long. Now, there's one more special formula I have, and this is for the high anxious, high goer, I want to conquer the world, I want to work 24/7 person. Is I actually do the liquid ketones, we also call them Mexican ketones, with a mitoplex in it. And that's what I use before I go to bed most nights. So I either do that or the keto chill. Those are the two that I do about an hour before I go to bed. And so one of those 4 things help you sleep and help you sleep better. Now we are bringing back an old product that not old, but a product that we put off the shelf. We're going to bring it back, I hope. And that's another way of doing it, but I'm not going to talk about that because it's not available right now.
Oh, that was such a cliffhanger. We all have to wait and see. Okay. Let's talk about women's hormones. You are so educated on women's hormones. And so let's talk about maybe that person who is having a challenge with their hormones right now, maybe weight gain, night sweats, hot flashes, leg cramps.
Oh God, this is going to send me through the roof. I already know. Cody Ann, what's going on? As someone who practices medicine, Cody Ann, not me, I will never get over listening to MLMers spout off about stuff they have no idea about disrespectfully with her entire chest. She didn't type that, but I'm adding that. Thank you so much, Cody Ann. I appreciate you. I love how Dustin is a women's hormone expert. Okay.
Is there anyone that's ever experienced any of those things on this call? How would you best coach that person with ketones and a schedule for them?
You wouldn't, because that's out of your scope of practice. It's unethical to say, oh, drinking ketones is going to help balance women's hormones. By the way, which hormones and how do they work?
Yeah, so this is another 4-hour conversation. I just watched anyway, I'm not going to get into all of it. Maybe I can another day. But this is how I'm going to say is that hormones are changing and shifting. And the challenge, first thing for ladies, there's a few things.
That's their job. Isn't that their job, for hormones to shift and change? I'm sorry. A man that's in a multi-level marketing company that is a self-proclaimed women's hormone expert makes me want to throw stuff. Do tell us about menopause, Dustin.
Things that you have to remember. First off, what's happening to you is normal. It's not abnormal.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean it has to be the way it is. So I'm not saying that should just be that way, but meaning your body is supposed to change. That's what I mean by normal. It's not that it's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to change. At the same time,
objection, relevance. I should have done that. That would have been fun to do objections. I didn't think about that another time, because I will cover more lawsuits.
And there's ways that you can work around it. And so you have one side of it is the medical side that I'm not going to talk about, like taking hormones and doing the hormone replacements and all that other stuff. And that's, you have to find somebody to do that with if you choose to go on that route. But the side that you can control, though, and I will give you this, if you're on a weight loss journey, your hormones are all out of whack, it's complicated because you're fighting biology and you're trying to get healthy all at the same time. And it doesn't mean that calorie in, calorie out still doesn't work. It just means it's harder. meaning that you have cravings and you want to punch somebody in the face for a donut, and you're fighting that urge. And sometimes you lose, and sometimes you punch the person in the face and you grab the donut. I'm just playing.
Is that what he thinks it's like? Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm just making a funny. Wow. The things that I want to say to Dustin, but it's a family show. God, I hate that. Sometimes those hormones are telling you that you want to punch somebody in the face because you want a donut. Or you could just stay in your lane, and if you wanted a donut, you could have a donut. It's not that. Oh my God, he thinks he's so funny.
But this is where it gets tough. This is where some of us guys got to be like, you just got to have discipline. I just want to smash that person when they say that, because they don't realize it's real, right? And it's a fight you're having inside of you. And so I got to go back to this. Is my mom taught me something special, because when she started ketones, she was 65 and life was complicated. She always kept one in her purse. And she's a routine type person. She always had it in the morning, and then that's when she felt like she needed the most, right? But anytime she was having those fights, she would have her ketones again. And it didn't matter when it was. She might have a non-caffeine at 11 o'clock at night, because next thing you know, one of her clients is in the hospital. She's running. She's just, anytime she needed it, she used it as her form of discipline, if that makes sense. She used it to replace what else might be going on. And it just took her, part of it is it changed her state, right? It just shake up ketones, made her happy. And it gave her a sense of security and safety. What are the ketones doing? Potentially relax.
Safety from what? Disordered eating? Restrictive eating? What safety from what? What do you mean? She wants to have a donut? You should be able to have a donut. You should be able to have everything in moderation, unless your doctor has instructed you to stay away from a certain amount of carbs or whatever. Allergies obviously come into play. What do you mean safety? Oh God.
Action number 9, for potentially helping with cravings and other things like that might be triggered by a hormonal response or emotional response or a jackass of a friend. I don't know, a husband maybe, or that's me. My wife's like, sometimes you just stress me out. So sometimes.
Yeah, I bet you're not very nice sometimes, Dustin, even though you're laughing, trying to make it seem lighthearted. Oh man, this is the appropriate shirt for today. Yeah.
The ketones are just distracting us from that. But what I want to say is the one other thing that you can remember is this, is that when it comes to the hormone change, the few things that you have control over is your blood sugar and your insulin reaction. So by drinking ketones and becoming more carb conscious and increasing your protein intake is stacking all the odds in your favor to basically support this journey. And ladies, I could talk for so many hours. I have so much new stuff.
I'm sure you could, because I just know you love hearing yourself talk, Dustin. I just know you love to look in the camera at yourself, and you love hearing yourself talk, and the mansplaining to women, because the majority of people in multi-level marketing are women, or people that present as women. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. Remember when I duetted his reel on Instagram where he was like, personal trainers, you're doing it wrong. Okay. No, we're not. No, we're not. At least this one isn't.
To add to this on this topic, most women that I know have been perpetually trying to lose weight for 40 years. And when you do that,
most women have been perpetually trying to lose weight for 40 years. Really? Really? Because not all women are looking to lose weight. Not all women are looking to be the smallest versions of themselves.
cause a lot of deficiencies. You cause a lot of bad habits that create malnourishment. So it's very common. I used to run blood work. It was like 97 pages long, about $8,000 for the blood labs. That's what we used to charge for them. And it
What kind of blood test did you run? Because yeah, me too, as a lab tech. What labs did you run? $8,000? Hey, moments.
was stunning to me that almost everybody came back vitamin D deficient, magnesium deficient, iron deficient. Their selenium was usually low, thyroid sluggish because of the lack of protein in the selenium, not because they had necessarily a thyroid issue. It's just that they were so deprived of nutrients, they were lacking omega-3 fatty acids and just little things that.
And all of those things can be addressed by a doctor or a registered dietitian, and changing different food intakes, especially like omegas, vitamin D. You can get outside. You can also, take a vitamin D supplement. You don't need ketones to do any of this stuff. This to me feels like he's trying to pay no attention to the man, behind the curtain kind of thing. And he's trying to fool everybody with acting like he knows what he's talking about. How does this have anything to do with Pruvit's ketones? It doesn't. This is so weird.
In short term don't matter. In chronic states, it just perpetually causes more imbalances, not just the hormone thing they're going through. So for some people out there, and I wish more people would take this serious, and I can't figure out a way to do it better than what's coming with the new launch of Protocol. Is we can't be in weight loss mindset all the time. We have to be in performance and refeed mindset, meaning you should take 2 months a year. If you want to lose 100 pounds, 2 months a year, your goal should be to do some type of physical performance improvement and not lose weight at all. And refeed your body, fill it with the nutrients that it needs.
But this whole time he's been talking about cutting carbs, decreasing calorie intake, everything that he has talked about up until this point, he is now contradicting himself. We can't be in diet, constantly. I do agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. But let's not forget what he said prior to all of this. It's all been about weight loss and calorie intake reductions and moving your body and burning more calories. And he's like, listen, we can't always be, and you shouldn't. I think a diet should be a short period of time, depending on what your goals are and depending on your health, your medical history, what your doctor has instructed you to do, things of that nature. Oh, Dustin. I'm not going to say that. I want to say it, but I'm not gonna. And that, what I just said, is a clue to what I really want to say. It's a TikTok I recently put out.
Think about it. Like, we would never ask a child to, like, hey, the next 7 years, I want you to not eat enough food. Like, just saying it sounds horrible, right? But yet that's what we're doing. And you see the challenge I have with this, because what happens is as soon as you go long enough without some of these nutrients, then your body is starting to fiend for it. And then you're and those nutrients are important to balance everything else out. And then we have to go get somebody else to add hormones into us to try to balance it out. But we still haven't solved some of the underlying problems. Not to say that that's going to solve all the problems. It just stacks all the odds in our favor. So my challenge to everybody out there and ladies going through this is take a break for a minute. Be okay with where you're at. And I know you may not be happy with your weight, but
easy for a man to say that. Easy for a man to say that when society has constantly painted the picture that women should be the smallest versions of themselves. That comes from the patriarchy. Now, in one of my reels from the last few days, I had somebody that was like, I was tracking with you until you mentioned the patriarchy. There's a reason that women have been perpetually fed that the best version of themselves is the smallest version of themselves. He's kind of tap dancing on it, but he's also contributing to it. At the end of the day, he's in Pruvit and he's selling these ketones, and this is a summer shred program. This is a weight loss program. And he's like, listen, 2 months a year. First of all, shut up, Dustin. Disrespectfully sit down. Please don't give any women advice on what they should be doing until you have walked a day in our shoes and dealt with any of the things that we've had to deal with as far as body image and society's expectations. Please shut up. Oh, he's a hormone expert. Oh, my God.
Be okay for 30 days to not change, to try to maybe do some type of strength and get stronger at something, whatever that is, planks, lunges, push-ups, whatever that might be, and feed.
Or lifting weights and getting stronger. See, what he's saying here is not incorrect. I do think that you should fuel your bodies for your workouts or whatever your workouts look like for you. I do think that you should build a complete plate. So he's tap dancing on things that there's a sprinkling of, yeah, I agree with that. But then there's this overall weight loss, toxic diet culture underbelly of all of this. And that's what's really pissing me off is, oh, he's a hormone expert. He's this, he's that. And I think, yeah, dude is dude-splaining. That's the part that pisses me off. Knowing that the majority of people on here are probably women or people that present themselves as women, because we know the statistics in multi-level marketing, and you have some dude talking about, you know, the struggles that women have to deal with. It's infuriating. It's insulting. It makes me want to be meaner. It really does.
Like, go find high quality food, get high omega-3s, high protein, high
Better
nutrient
said.
dense food, and just eat. Let your body like actually get the good stuff in for a month before you go after it and try to lose a bunch more weight. And I can promise.
Or work with a registered dietitian. If you aren't sure how you can build a complete plate, what that looks like, if you're somebody that is very triggered by tracking macros because of what you've had to deal with as a woman, or somebody that presents as a woman, and society trying to make it seem like you know, the most successful version of you is going to be the smallest version of you. I call garbage on that. I call BS on that. Personally, for me, I want to walk in the gym feeling like an absolute pit bull. Those are my favorite days when I'm like, ooh, I feel like really muscular. It's going to be different for everybody. But work with a registered dietitian. If you don't know how to build a complete plate, learn how to build a complete plate. You can go to the myplate.gov. You can learn how to build a complete plate. They have an app also, myplate.gov. I believe that's only in the United States. And you can go through all of their free resources and learn how to build a complete plate that doesn't require you to track macros. You can use a visual. They have a breakdown. They have an app. They have all kinds of really cool stuff that is free and doesn't require you to listen to people like Dustin, who's like 2 months out of the year, you should refeed. First of all, no. 2 months out of the year. So 10 months, you're saying that people should be dieting? Absolutely not. God, I hate it. I hate it so much, you guys.
She does. I did this with my sister. I said, listen, let's just take a month off and let's just be awesome for a month and not worry about losing weight for a month. And fortunately, she was not in so much of a hurry to do it. And I think that's why she's been able to maintain it so well. And so that's what I'm going to encourage for everybody out there is,
if anybody is trying to sell you how to lose weight quickly, run the other way. Well, you know, fortunately, she wasn't trying to lose it quickly. Good. Oh my God.
that's part of it too. So I know I went on my soapbox. I apologize.
No, it was good. It was actually firing me up. I'm like, I'm actually upping my protein right now. I'm more excited about movement. Like, I can't wait to actually get those workouts for me. I need to remember to ask you for that.
Oh, please let me see these workouts. Please let me see these workouts. I bet they're like high intensity interval training. I bet they're like, oh, I can only imagine.
Because I'm so excited to do more. So
thank you.
Firing me up. Okay, but let's go into ketones and performance. So there's lots of different avenues here. There's like runners, there's sports, there's weightlifters. How do you maximize performance with ketones?
So if you're really serious about performance, and I don't care what age you are, it's really important. And I'm going to hit two things with this one. It's really important to have your ketones before you work out. And it does two things. One, it's going to increase your ability to do more. So for most of us, we just need to work harder in our workouts. There's a lot of science, and it's like if you can do a 40-minute workout and you go 30 minutes kind of just average, the 10 minutes go hard. Whatever that is, get your heart rate up, get your muscle.
No. See, this is the problem when you are giving generic fitness advice. If you are telling somebody that is new to the gym, that maybe just started doing cardio, or maybe just started a group exercise class, or maybe just started walking, or maybe just whatever, a new exercise program of some kind. And they do first of all, and they do a 40-minute workout, very generic in his language. I'm trying to give the example based off of what he said. And you tell them to go hard for 10 minutes, you are setting somebody up potentially to have a major cardiac event or a stroke. When I have new clients that I work with that are brand new to the gym, or it's been a long time since they've, worked out, or they've never really worked out and they don't know where to start and they're nervous about going to the gym or whatever, and I'm starting them off slowly for a number of reasons. Number one, I don't want them to get hurt. I definitely don't want them to have some sort of a major cardiac event or a stroke. And I definitely don't want them to be so sore that they dread going back the next time it's a scheduled workout day. All of these things are extremely important. So for Dustin to get on here and say, oh, well, everybody should be able to do a 40-minute workout. First of all, no. And then for him to say, moderate pace or whatever, however he worded that, for 30 minutes. And then for the last 10 minutes, go hard. No. Do not listen to this, especially if you're somebody that you haven't worked out in a while, whether we're talking about lifting weights, whether we're talking about, walking on the treadmill, walking outside, bicycling, whatever we're talking about, start very slowly, because this is really dangerous advice. I tell all of my clients that are brand new, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being this is very, very difficult, I want you to start at about a 4. Because you can always increase the intensity and you can always increase the amount, the volume, or whether we're talking about walking or whatever, you can always increase what you're doing. But if we start you off too much too soon, you could get injured. You could have some kind of a medical event, which definitely we don't want. And you're going to be so sore, you're going to hate life. That's stupid. That's reckless.
Muscles fatigued. It'll pay off, I promise. It's one of the best gifts you can give your body for longevity and health. And obviously, joint appropriate. Don't hurt your joints doing it. But the second benefit of that is that actually that is the major way to reduce cognitive decline, is have ketones before you exert your body. Now, granted, you only need to go for
Let's see the studies on Pruvit's ketones that show that.
a mile walk to get that benefit, to cognitively enhance your benefit of ketones on the brain. But the more that you exert it physically, the more that you're going to get a positive return on brain health and performance and your muscle health. The only thing I want to add to that is that
this is so important. Megan, this is so important, and I'm so glad that you did this. Megan said, when I started back in the gym to help lower my blood pressure, I waited until I saw my doctor and started blood pressure medication first so I didn't drop dead in the gym. It is so important, especially if you have high cholesterol, high blood pressure, anything impacting your heart. You have to start slowly to prevent. I cannot stress this enough. I see people at the gym, especially around the beginning of the year, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so nervous, because people go too hard. You have to give yourself time to adapt. Oh.
After your workout, within 2 hours, have ketones again, if you really want to recover properly. And it could be just a Keto Pro after your workout, which is what I recommend. And so those are the
And why is that? Because it's got 4 grams of protein in it, or 6 grams, or whatever it is? No. How about a meal? How about a serving of protein instead after the workout? Because that would be the best. That would be ideal.
Two things. It's really a simple, about 40 minutes before your workout, start drinking your ketones, and then go do it. Like, I don't care if it's 30 minutes, if it's 15 minutes, if it's an hour, just go work and work hard when you're there, and then leave it, and then come home and rest and recover, and have a keto after, or a Keto Pro after.
Awesome. Okay, I have 3 questions left. I think the former teacher in me wants to get through the whole lesson, because this is just so good. I just can't not ask one of these questions.
I get really passionate about that because I don't want somebody to get hurt. And it's so easy to get hurt. It's so easy to have some sort of an event when you're starting a new fitness routine. I just saw the other day, speaking of this, I just saw the other day, I think it was in the Kelsey Ray subreddit, that one of the Pruvit distributors was working out with Eric and she got injured. And I took a screenshot of it. I forgot about this. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked one bit, considering the amount of content that I've covered from Eric, who is Kelsey Ray's baby daddy, ex-boyfriend. I don't even know, whatever. He gives very dangerous advice. Very dangerous advice. I don't know why I'm telling you guys this, but I guess I just wanted to mention it. I'm not surprised. Not one bit.
Questions. Okay, so let's talk about like brain cognition. So there's like lifted brain fog, there's concussions, there's like memory loss as we age. Would you coach each of those people the same if their outcome is like better brain cognition?
Not completely, but similar. I think one thing we have to keep in mind is that if you have a high brain fog, and let's say you start drinking ketones, you have brain fog and your brain lifts a little bit. But the question you have to ask yourself is that, is it fully clear? We don't know what optimal really is. Like, does that make sense? Like, it can be better, but is it really as good as it needs to be? And so part of the brain cognition side of it is that we also want to look at detoxing. And so the only way to get good detoxing, so this is what I recommend for people that are like want enhancement in cognition, is you want to have ketones elevated for a sustained period of time. So I do actually recommend at least 5 days and do the 5-day belly burn and focus on cognition. Do like a cognitive test. Go on your do like an app or something.
Oh, okay. So somebody that's coming to them for cognition help, which that is alarming in itself. You're still going to have them do the 5-day belly burn. So they came to you or whoever this promoter in this scenario is, in Pruvit, and they're not interested in losing weight, but you're still going to encourage them to do the 5-day belly burn to lose weight. Okay.
Especially if you're brand new, if you haven't done this before or just started with Pruvit, is do like a test or do a Scrabble, something that challenges your brain, and then do the 5-day belly burn and then see what happens with your cognition. And then when you come off the 5-day belly burn, go back to your normal diet, still drinking ketones, and see if it maintains. If it doesn't, it tells me that we need to clean out the cobwebs more. So you have damaged protein that builds up in your brain as we age. So it doesn't matter if you've been hit in the head before, or if you have ADHD or focus issue, or you have, just cognitive decline from aging. You have to get that brain cleaned and cleared. And there's things that.
Oh, and please tell us how we clear the cobwebs out of our brain, Dustin. Oh, God, this is so ridiculous. And it is so infuriating on so many levels for me.
Can hinder the clearing of the brain. One's alcohol, one's lack of sleep. So you clear mostly at night and sleeping. So it's one of the reasons.
It's giving Scientology going clear. That's what this is giving.
Reasons why people feel better when they drink ketones at night is because it helps clear out the damaged protein. So that's the one side of it. And the other side of it is any energy uptake. So for people like me that had a brain injury and aging, right? So your brain's aging, which is has a downside to it. And then you have the brain injury side of it. It's about saturation. And this is probably the same thing with memory decline. It's about saturation. So this is a situation where you either drink ketones 3 times.
First of all, listen, and I'm not, okay. I'm actually not trying to be mean when I say this. Not one bit. But let's be honest here. If drinking Pruvit's ketones helped prevent cognitive decline, then why did Brian Underwood's dad die from, was it Alzheimer's or dementia? Because if he was drinking ketones, according to what Dustin is saying here, that wouldn't have happened. This is so infuriating.
A day, or you stack the odds in your favor. You start going maybe a modified ketogenic diet or a modified low carb diet for 3 to 6 months, maybe longer, because you want to maintain saturations. I want to remind you all that my brain didn't get all the way back until I was doing a pretty good ketogenic diet with ketones. That's what it took for my brain to actually get over the hump. Dr. Brett Scher, he does metabolic research and brain health and mood disorders. He talks about that. It's ketogenic therapies, and it's about the dose of ketones in your body for a sustained amount of time. It's not about just being in ketosis.
Okay, but you can't tell the dosage because Pruvit's ketones are a proprietary blend. So if we're going to talk about dosages and we're going to talk about research trying to make it seem like drinking Pruvit's ketones is going to help with, brain recovery from a traumatic brain injury, you should be able to say the dosage, because anything that has sound scientific research in that study, there's specific dosages and protocols that they actually follow. This language that they take a proprietary blend and they take these things and, oh, see, we have this ingredient and in this study they showed this, or they're studying this currently and blah, blah, blah. See, this is effective. So we have that ingredient, and they're trying to like connect these dots. And the study was not done on Pruvit's ketones. And a lot of what Pruvit does is they will use studies on the ketogenic diet and getting into nutritional ketosis, which is two very different things when we're comparing that to increasing your blood levels of ketones. Those are two very different things. And I know Brianna Jewell did a really great video on Pruvit's ketones and getting into ketosis and different things. I learned a ton from that video, so definitely check out her channel. She's incredible. This infuriates me. He's using his brain injury and trying to say that Pruvit's ketones basically helped his brain heal, but then also saying that he was on the ketogenic diet and then mentioning a researcher and talking about dosages when Pruvit's ketones are a proprietary blend. Unbelievable.
And so when you start talking about brain health, and I work with too many people that are their brain's starting to go fast. Like, I'm the guy that gets on the call with, oh, my dad, I don't know if there's anything we can do for him. Or, hey, I have a 16-year-old kid that just did a skateboarding accident going down a large hill, hit his brain with no help.
And you're selling them ketones? You're selling them Pruvit's ketones instead of saying, have you talked to a doctor? You've got to be kidding me.
On, and he's in the hospital and he doesn't remember his family. Like, those are the calls I get on, and it's sad, but I'm always like, you got to go saturate that brain for an extended period of time and give it a lot of time for it to rejuvenate itself. And not everybody's committed to that. So the reason why I say this is because I don't want anybody.
Hold on, I have this.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Indeed.
To judge our product based off it can't bring somebody back from a really bad incident, because sometimes the damage has already been done. Sometimes we can't grow the leg back, if that makes sense. Like, the leg's gone, we're gonna have to make the best we can without the leg, right? And so my stepdad had no leg, so I'm used to that analogy. But it can take 3-6 months. I would say within 6 months, if you don't start seeing, and you're gonna see improvements, but if you don't see a significant improvement and it's really dialed in, then that's where you have to start to consider that might be the best we have, at least with just this approach alone. Maybe you combine it with some other approaches. Therapy, there's really good actually cognitive therapy out there that people don't do and they ignore. I personally have a therapist for my brain when I was injured, and I combined that with everything else I did. I didn't do one or the other. I did them both together.
So his recovery, was it from being in ketosis? Was it from the therapy, the cognitive therapy that he was doing, or was it from drinking ketones? God, this is so weird. Also, I think I missed a member. I'm sorry, Danny, I missed it. Danny and Rebecca B. Danny, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you being here. And as always, well, not always. Tonight's theme, law and order, because of the lawsuit. And also Rebecca B, member for 29 months. Thank you so much for being a member. I really do appreciate it. Really do. Oh, God. I mean, in my opinion, no. Because from what I understand, based on Brianna Jewell's video, being in nutritional ketosis and drinking ketones and elevating the levels of ketones in your blood are two very different things. Maybe there's some people in here that are much more qualified to answer that, but based on that video, and she's a registered dietitian, that's what I understand. But if somebody else feels comfortable answering that question in the comments, I would gladly highlight it. And thanks for asking that.
Nice. I love looking at the comments. I don't know if you've been seeing them, but people
Some of them.
just keep talking about how amazing this call is. So we appreciate you so much. I have 2 questions left. Okay. How about nervous system regulation? Like, how it takes you from fight or flight to just this calmness. I have so many customers that drink ketones to help calm their body down? How would you best coach that person that is anxious all the time, that wants to drink the ketones to really calm their nervous system down?
Yeah, this is a great question because this is me. I've been anxious my whole life, for whatever reasons. And but I'm gonna say something to you, a lot of you that maybe don't understand this. The one of the things that you don't want to do with an anxious person, if you're a person that knows somebody that's anxious, or you're the anxious person, one of the best things that you can do for an anxious person is to move them, get them moving. Don't slow them down. So use ketones as a tool to get them out and perpetuate and move them. Now, two different anxious types. One,
What? Wait, so is he trying to say, Dustin, is he trying to say somebody that's having an anxiety attack, hey, give them ketones and let's go for a walk? Please tell me that's not what he's trying to say here. I cannot.
with caffeine actually can calm them down. You ever know that you give somebody with ADHD a stimulant that actually can relax them. So I'm saying this because sometimes you're so smart and you're telling somebody else what to do, and you might be telling them, no caffeine. Well, they may do better with the caffeine. They may calm them down more. And caffeine may be the thing that causes them to be more anxious. So you may want to look at both avenues. But I would once again look at it this way is one,
If you saw some of the if you're up for it, go back and watch the beginning once this ends, because it's real bad. Real bad.
if we move you, do you calm down? I'm a person where if I'm walking, I'm relaxed. If I'm sitting still, I'm more anxious.
That's you.
Okay. So what I do is use it as a
Everybody is different.
tool to keep me moving, because I'm better for everybody if I'm moving around. You ever watch me at an event? I stand, sit, move, stand, sit, move, stand, sit, move, walk, pace. So that's how I use it for that tool. But for some of you that maybe are normally more calm and relaxed and not really a mover, and you get anxious, you want to do it and time it out. When do you get anxious the most? Have it about an hour before you get anxious. And then ultimately figure out what's the underlying cause of your anxiety or anxiousness, right? Is it your annoying husband? Figure that out. I'm not involved. But figure out what are the things and then start working on maybe meditating, find mindfulness, work on the other tools to help you out with. But when it comes to anxiousness, just be aware that some of you need to move more, and that'll help with your anxiousness. Some of you need to be able to sit still and use ketones, maybe the non-caffeine type. And if you're a person like me that you moved a lot as a child and you had this nervous energy, you're probably going to want to move as an adult and use the ketones as a tool to go exercise more. And then come back from your movement. My wife is like, dude, you need to go work out. Like that's her. She knows, because I'm getting like anxious. She goes, go work out. And then I come back relaxed. Right. So, there's.
You know what I'm going to do right now? I am going to upload this to a Google Drive, this video, Dustin's video. Let's see. Let's see. Pruvit, Dustin, Schaefer, health claims. And I'm going to send this folder to the FTC right now. If you've ever wanted to send anything to the FTC, there's a link in my video description in all of my videos. Let's see, this is in June streams. It's very, very simple. Their process is very simple. So let's see. Let's add that. I'm going to let that load. And then right after this, I'm going to click on the link in my video description, and I'm going to send the link to the Google Drive. It does ask for your information when you report anything to the FTC. I understand that sometimes it can feel frustrating because, you may not see anything happening with it. You're probably not going to hear back from the FTC, but still it's important that we keep reporting it. Even in the current state of our government, it's important to keep speaking out, because when we become compliant and quiet, they're allowed to do whatever they want. So we need to continue to be loud, like the anti-MLM movement continues to be.
Two sides to that one. And so just make sure that you're kind of applying it the right way for each person. So the person that's naturally anxious, maybe move more, use caffeine. The person that's normally relaxed and has become anxious, use the non-caffeine about an hour before when you find that anxiety higher. And it could be before bed. That's true. Still try the sleep remedy that I gave, and then try that and see how it goes.
It's so good, Dustin. So good. Okay, last one.
It's
Let's
not
talk
though.
longevity and healthy aging. You even
I think I'm done. I think I have reached my hearing from Dustin. I almost called him something else. I think I've reached my threshold. I think that this was, a good example of definitely health claims and things. I've already mentioned all of that. This was disgusting. Like, I'm really bothered. I know I'm smiling and I know I'm trying to like hold it together, but I'm really bothered by a lot of the things that he said. So give me a second as I regulate myself and come on back. How are you guys? Is everybody okay? I mean, how could we be okay after watching that? Let's talk about what's really, really important. I don't do calls to action a whole lot on my videos. I really just try to come from a place of education and giving information and resources and things like that. But with what's going on with the Pruvit class action lawsuit, I do want to give a call to action, which is weird because I haven't done that I can remember as an anti-MLM content creator. But if you are a Pruvit promoter in California, even if you left years ago, you might consider joining in on this lawsuit and getting some information. In the video description, I do have the emails so that you can contact the legal team that is heading up this class action lawsuit in California against Pruvit. They are looking for 4 specific things. They're looking for people who paid the promoter fee, so the $49 fee, who bought products or samples, were instructed to give them away, as we have heard many people in Pruvit at the top advise their people to do. We're told to post, sell, or recruit as a business owner. And the last part is, did unpaid labor under pressure. So posting on social media, going live, there's a lot of pressure to go live. Just go live, just go live. Yeah. So if you were involved in any MLM, this is not just a Pruvit thing. Bear with me here. If you were involved in any multi-level marketing company while living in California, Clarkson, law firm is investigating multiple companies. So I know that tonight's video is about Pruvit, but they are also looking into Herbalife, Rodan and Fields, Total Life Changes, Isogenics, Mona, as I call it, Pharmacy, Color Street, and Lavelle, They're also actively encouraging Melaleuca participants to come forward. So if you're somebody that was a part of Melaleuca or any MLM, please go to the link in my video description. There's a form there. It's called an MLM intake form. I think it's important to mention that it's not anonymous. You do have to put in some of your information. And I know that that can be kind of scary depending on where you're at as far as healing your way out of MLM. But this is a really important way to support legal accountability and help future lawsuits. So I do want to encourage you, even though it can be kind of scary for a lot of us that have been a part of MLM, it's time to speak up. It's really, really important. So also worth noting that a lawsuit is currently underway involving Sensi. I think there was a court date today, or I think they were supposed to get the response from Sensi today, if I remember correctly. So if you were in that company as well while living in California, now is the time to come forward. So my question is, whatever happened to protecting the house? Remember when Pruvit used to say those phrases when you were at their events or you were attending their Zooms, and they'd be like, protect the house? Because from the looks of it, the house is cracking. You've got reps sharing training Zooms like they're gospel, while the state of California is saying, actually, this looks like a labor law violation. So if you're watching this and you've ever felt pressured, you've ever felt shamed or silenced, this is your sign to speak up. They said, they say duplicating the systems, posting, sharing, all of this stuff. Well, let's duplicate this message. Let's duplicate and share this information Even if you don't share my video, but you share the link in the video description, I'm going to put it in my stories. I'm going to give a call to action in my stories as well. But let's get this link out there so that people start telling their story. They get in contact with the legal team, and we can start holding these MLM companies accountable. I think it's really awesome that Clarkson Law Firm is doing this and not just focusing on one company. Although today was about Pruvit, I do look forward to covering other lawsuits and hopefully developing a relationship with Clarkson Law Firm, so that I can do whatever it is that I can do and help and contribute in any way that I can. So like, share, comment, subscribe, all of those things. Send this out if you feel comfortable. Share it out if you feel comfortable. If you just want to send the link to the MLM intake form, that's awesome too. If you were in Pruvit or any MLM, again, while living in California, email the lawyers, fill out the form, because your unpaid labor deserves to be heard. Okay? The house is no longer protected. Thank you guys so much for being here. I know this was kind of a long one. I appreciate you guys. Don't join an MLM, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye, everybody.